Good afternoon. My name is Kelly Bergman. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our monthly webinar series featuring Sage Supply Chain Intelligence. In this ever-changing landscape, let Sage help you navigate and stay ahead of your supply chain. Today, we have Paul and Andrea with Sage here to dive into functionality. As always, if you have any questions during the webinar, please put them in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen, and we'll look to answer them all at the end of the webinar. I don't want to take up any more time. There's a lot to learn, so I'm going to let Paul and Andrea take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Just want to say thank you all for joining us here today. Today, we're going to be talking about Sage Supply Chain Intelligence. It's our new supply chain execution offering that we have here at Sage. My name is Andrea Tan. I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Sage. And over the next 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to go do a deep dive, a little introduction of what it is, a little background context of what we're currently seeing in the supply chain landscape, and what Sage Supply Chain Intelligence can really do for you and your customers. So this is our product. It is Sage Supply Chain Intelligence, and our tagline is track every purchase order, automate every step, and trust your supply chain. So meeting the team, again, I just did introduce myself, and we also have Paul here from our sales team. So he'll be taking us through an in-depth product demo so you can really see the value and what Sage Supply Chain Intelligence can offer and all of the feature functionalities. So as I mentioned, we're going to set up with the background for the first 5 minutes, go into what is Sage Supply Chain Intelligence, and then we're going to be doing a little overview of our integration with Sage 100, which is our first integration within the Sage product and ecosystem that we're doing. Maybe share a little bit more down the line what we're going to be doing. And of course, our demo, which is the most exciting part. And last but not least, a Q&A so we can have all your questions answered regarding anything that comes up during our webinar today. So let's deep dive into, what's really disrupting your supply chain today. Recently, we did a state of supply chain report where we did a survey interviewing a lot of brands, and we found these top key insights. We found that 21% of brands honestly feel confident when it comes to managing disruption. That's only 21%. Less than 1 in 4 people feel confident when it comes to managing their disruption. And those who are on the 66% side feel like real-time visibility is critical to recovering from vitality. We also saw that almost 5 times the brands that were equipped had a faster recovery when it comes to disruption than those who weren't as well equipped with the low visibility that they had within their supply chain. And over half of or the people that we interviewed still lack the tools that have that visibility when it comes to their supply chain processes today. So with all those statistics in mind, investing in tech that connects suppliers, systems, and inventory data is now a strategic necessity. It's not a nice to have anymore, it's a need to have. And with that being said, these constant disruptions within our supply chain really impact us all. 43% cite that supply shortages is a top disruption for them. Over half of people identify visibility as a top priority in 2025. And we're seeing like an upswing in supply chain technology budget, which is great because a lot of our brands are really definitely planning to invest in technology in 2025 as well. So it's a huge opportunity for us to really speak to the constant disruptions that a lot of our customers are currently feeling. And I love this image. It's a great image and visual explaining that supply chain execution and visibility gap because, once a PO is sent out, 90% of the work that's done is really a black box. So as you can see here, there's a lot of siloed communication when it comes to different elements of the processes, and it's very disconnected. And what our solution here today for Sage Supply Chain Intelligence, we really want to connect and get that overall collaboration, visibility, and intelligence into your supply chain processes. And that's when I mentioned when POs go out, usually after an ERP, what happens after that is a black box. So we really want to bring that visibility back to your team so you can have more control, so you can be proactive instead of reactive when it comes to any costly PO errors potentially. So I wanted to share some quotes that might sound familiar to the people that we're talking to. For supply chain operations and leadership, they really struggle with manual follow-ups for when it comes to talking to their suppliers to get updates, to understand the delays across multiple email threads or maybe across different messaging applications as well. They're going back and forth, and it's really tedious and time consuming. When we're talking to our business operations and program managers, it's really hard for them to find shipments, invoices, and PO updates in one place. Again, they're going across multiple systems and spending a lot of time doing that, digging and trying to find the answer that they want. And last but not least, talking to our finance leadership, updating POs really is a full time job because there wasn't an automation element to them to make those processes a lot quicker. This slide really shows some signs that it's time for Sage Supply Chain Intelligence, right? If you are chasing suppliers for updates over email, if PO updates are live in spreadsheets, not in your ERP, delays go unnoticed until it's too late, and then you're in that reactive element as well. Communication and collaboration's disjointed, it's reactive instead of one place, and teams waste a lot of time going back and forth, manually tracking orders. And at the end of the day, reporting, when it comes to reporting, it really takes days and not minutes. And with today's supply chain vitality and the landscape, we really don't have time to be making those types of mistakes or, eating those costs as well. I just wanted to share a quote from one of our customers, from JD Davis, and they said that they tried to create system and processes like this in previous roles, but nothing has come close to what Sage Supply Chain Intelligence was able to achieve for them. This platform really gave them everything they needed to maintain a supply chain that can withstand anything that comes their way and continue to grow. So not only are we helping them improve their processes, reducing all those manual tasks, but we're also helping them and growing with them as they scale, which is really amazing. So with Sage Supply Chain Intelligence, this is how our product looks like today. We just recently did a rebranding, so it looks and feels exactly like a Sage product. And it has a really amazing UI, super easy to use, super frictionless, and it's really great when it comes to navigating all the complexities that a lot of supply chain leaders have to face. This is one of my favorite slides. It shows you how it works, right? So with Sage Supply Chain Intelligence, it's ERP agnostic. So it seamlessly connects to your tech stack to fill that visibility and execution gap that we talked in the beginning of our webinar. And you are able to really have a rapid time to value. That's one of our key differentiators is within 45 days, you can start seeing impact to your team and start being able to manage your POs. When it comes to real-time end-to-end purchase order tracking, or even seeing real-time supplier performance management and tracking, to scorecards and delay detection and lead time trends. You really get all of that within Sage Supply Chain Intelligence. One of my favorite things that I think Paul's also going to be showcasing in the demo is our logistics and shipment management, which is really huge. And also what's a differentiator for us is our flexible milestone and workflow automation, which Paul will deep dive into our demo. So a lot of really amazing capabilities, very robust, that's able to bring that visibility into your supply chain. Now we go into Sage Supply Chain Intelligence and Sage 100. We recently launched an integration with Sage 100, and it was the first Sage product that we integrated within our Sage ecosystem. So we're really excited to bring this to you. And some of the main things that we wanted to see was how can we drive seamless collaboration to maximize efficiency, or when it comes to getting more visibility and agility with Sage 100, and also improving operational intelligence and supplier performance. So with Sage 100 and Sage Supply Chain Intelligence, you're really able to automate that PO lifecycle by centralizing that tracking, getting that real-time visibility to create more profitable and faster operations. This is the visual of how that looks like together. So with Sage 100 and Sage Supply Chain Intelligence, we have a bidirectional sync where you're able to make a purchase order in either one, and then you will see it reflected in one or the other. You can also have real-time updates or syncs as well, like every hour, every day, whatever you need and your team needs. It's very flexible on that point. So they are talking to each other, and it's a really amazing, cohesive, and better together story with Sage 100 and also Sage Supply Chain Intelligence. I also wanted to shout out that we have been recognized across the industry. These are a few of our newest achievements from G2 Crowd, whether it be best estimated return on investments, easiest to use when it comes to our UX and UI, best support, best results, and a high performer. Also, noticeably, fastest implementation. These are just some recognitions and awards that we've got as an industry leader for supply chain intelligence. I also wanted to share one of my favorite case studies with Kula as the months are getting a little bit warmer this summer. We all need our sun protection, and Kula is one of those leaders in that area, and they have been a Sage Supply Chain Intelligence customer. And what's been really impressive with their story is that we were able to give time back to them. And as Michael has seen here, he says time is money, right? And money is time. And there's never enough of one or the other, especially in supply chain. And we were able to free up that time so their teams can focus on more strategic and value added activities. Some of the metrics that we have here is that 28% of their team was able to improve on time orders, which then cascades down to improving customer experience. 95% improve in terms of supplier engagement, which is huge. And last but not least, there was an 18% decrease to PO changes. So really amazing story that I wanted to shout out with Kula. And last but not least, I really wanted to hone in on why Sage Supply Chain Intelligence and why now. As of currently today, a lot of customers is spending every day managing supply chain operations through emails and spreadsheets. It's very manual, very time consuming, also very error prone, and it's a missed opportunity for them. With Sage Supply Chain Intelligence, you can really get back that time and control with the centralized real-time visibility and execution, all the way from PO issuance to warehouse delivery, which then in turn reduce costs, reduce delays, and it allows you to have those proactive alerts so you can make better and more strategic decision making. In addition to that, with our automated workflows, it makes things so much easier according to the processes and supplier accountability, which increase supplier engagement. At the end of the day, with supply chain intelligence, we really want to drive better business outcomes, with on-time delivery, lower risks, and scalable operations. Which was what we are really excited about Sage Supply Chain Intelligence, and where we're going to be going in the future. So that's enough time for me. Paul, do you want to go ahead and take us into our demo and show them the real value of Sage Supply Chain Intelligence?
Absolutely. I appreciate it. And hello, everybody. Let me go ahead and share my screen. What I'm going to show you here is a broad overview of what the solution looks like. The user interface, as mentioned, very, very simple. We want to make this as easy as possible for your day-to-day operations and provide that clear visibility. So what I'm going to start off with today is showing you what a purchase order looks like within Sage Supply Chain Intelligence. So as mentioned, you can create the purchase order in Sage 100 or within our solution. And this is what it would look like. All the details, suppliers, items, that information that's required on the purchase order is going to live here on the left. So as you can see, critical items, who is the supplier, what items, how many units per item, what's the cost. You can even go into supplier information like address, payment terms, Incoterms, and even custom fields for any T's and C's, invoice instructions, packing instructions, whatever is required on that purchase order, that's going to live here on the left. And then in the middle here, as mentioned earlier, you have a specific workflow that you're going to assign this purchase order. These workflows are going to have milestones. So each one of these boxes we call a milestone. Really great thing about these, they're completely configurable. So you can have multiple different workflows, and then within the workflow, you can have as many milestones as you need. So really the idea is assign a purchase order to a workflow with each one of those milestones that you need to have the checks and balances, that visibility and accountability. So here's a couple of ideas that our current clients use, different workflows for different suppliers because the process is a little bit different. Also, for product categories, if they're different product categories, or a mix of both. And the idea behind this is where the collaboration really starts to work. Each one of these milestones, someone's assigned to complete that milestone. So PO acceptance is very simple, goes out to the supplier via email, and they'll get an email that looks just like this. Do you accept this purchase order? Here's where the collaboration really starts to happen. They'll have the opportunity to click yes or no. If it's yes, that milestone is completed, moves on to the next one. If no, that provides the opportunity for you to review why is this purchase order not being accepted? Is the price wrong? Can they not fulfill that quantity? Do dates need to change? Again, starting that collaboration piece. And then the idea is these workflows, it'll just move on from milestone to milestone all the way to delivery. Now, what we'll do is flag any of these milestones if it's not hitting the specific date so that your team can manage that specifically. If it's tracking properly, there's nothing really to manage. In an ideal world, this will be perfectly green from start to finish, from PO acceptance to delivery. But if not, we're going to flag that so then you can pay a little bit more attention and address the issues that need to happen. And then down below, again, more collaboration space. You can even message within this within the solution. So you can send different messages and you can see the history of the messages. More visibility, who said what, why were there changes, and then also even an activity feed. What happened when, so holding more people accountable. Just again, more visibility into the solution. The other great thing about these milestones, you can create tasks. So if you need multiple parties involved, you can add tasks so more people, more than just one person can be involved, and they can be required to complete the milestone or just more of a reminder. The other great thing with tasks and milestones, you can require files to be uploaded. So if there's any files that need to be associated with this specific purchase order, all of those are going to live right here, and you can download these. But just a great repository for necessary purchase orders, add comments, files associated with the purchase order. And then moving over here to the right side, this is our logistics tracking. So as long as we have a airway bill, master bill of lading, or a container number, we're going to track the shipment. You can see all the port details. When did it arrive in that port? When did it leave? And then we're going to give you even more of a detailed map here. So you can see here's the projected route. But all of these white circles here, we're pinging the vessel specifically to check on a day-to-day basis, where is it? So you can even click on there and see the date, time, how fast is that vessel moving, just providing that much more detail and visibility on the shipments. And that's more the collaboration, the PO specific part of the solution. And then we're going to provide a dashboard. So this is more the mountaintop view. You can see all the orders health. This is going to be related to those milestones. Again, if it's orange, it needs an update. If it's red, it's rejected. But giving your team the opportunity to manage the day more by exception rather than going through each open purchase order and finding, where are the issues? Where are the delays? You can see the active orders over here. And then you can even see the delivery delay alerts. You can see the order alerts here on the right, and even engage the specific order here. So you can message the supplier or even update the status if they called you, picked up the phone, and provided an update via phone. We're also providing a lot of data. As the information is pushed and pulled, we're going to give you just a handful of different modules here to track data. So production lead times, you can see the 5 most commonly ordered and shipped parts. What's the average lead time? What's been the most recent? So giving you more visibility on timing, orders with upcoming milestones, even on-time performance. You want to track your suppliers. Are they performing the way that you need them to? You can see exactly their on-time percentages here. 58%, oh, maybe a big wave. We want to have a conversation. We need to pick that up. Even tracking supplier spend, and then you can filter through this specific data. And the other great thing about the dashboard is it is configurable based on the user. So not only can you filter specifically by the employee here, but you can also just drag and drop and put this in whatever order makes the most sense for the user. And then you can select different widgets. You can add, subtract, again, giving you what makes the most sense for your day-to-day from a visibility standpoint. And then the last thing I'm going to show from a broad overview standpoint, we do have what we call views or dynamic views. We call these dynamic views because as the data is being adjusted within the solution, it's very dynamic. But you can think of this, it's synonymous with reporting. So what I'm showing you here is a base report. So it comes pre-built out of the box. This is the open orders report. You can see all of the orders that are open. You can see what parts are on the order, what is the milestone, what's the status. You can see all of the critical details, payment terms, supplier information. And as you scroll further, you can see target ship date, estimated ship date, all of this great information to have visibility to. And then you can go and you can filter this, you can modify, you can add, subtract whatever specific columns you want. You can, again, filter through and really carve this data up to create a custom view. Then you can even save this as a new view, and that will be saved over on the left side. The other great thing that's very valuable is you can even schedule these to go out. You can have a frequency of daily, weekly, or monthly, set the day, set the time, and these recipients can be internal or external recipients. So anyone that needs this data, it can show up in their inbox every Monday at 12 a.m. or whatever the case may be. But you can see not only is it are we providing orders reports, but we can do views on parts, suppliers, shipments, tasks, and files. So any of that critical data that your team or further teams need to have visibility to, we're giving the opportunity to not only share that, but download and then provide that visibility for further teams. So that is the solution. Pretty broad demo there. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and kick it back over.
Thank you guys so much. And I was watching for questions here and did just get a question about a pricing structure by site or by user.
Yeah, it's a great question. Pricing is going to be based off of annual purchase order spend as well as user count. And the user count, for clarification, is going to be what we call power users. So suppliers or what we refer to as third-party collaborators, they are not considered a user. That's just access for them is included in the price. It would just be power users that would be from your team.
Let's see here. One more. Is there a pricing grid by PO dollar volume? Maybe that's something we can share.
Yeah, I can certainly get a pricing sheet available. We can certainly get that over to you, Kelly, so that you can provide that with your team, your clients.
Yeah, I'll be sure to reach out with that. I do believe I have it. So
Perfect.
I would like to quickly thank the entire SSCI team for their time today. And of course, thank you to all who attended. We know your time is valuable, so we sure do appreciate you spending a little bit of it with us.